I would like to introduce another Carey School alumni, Lana Wesche, and her Panther Points of Pride video.
I'm Lana Wesche, and I graduated from Carey High School in 1958. And during that time, we lived on a farm on Austin Road, right across from Wanda and Ronald Peck, and lived there for many years. Some of the experiences that I had when I was in Carey High School were I was able to be the editor of our yearbook for that year. I was on the newspaper staff. We did plays. We did speech contests and music contests, and it was a fun but very active year. We did both junior ball and senior ball, and in decorating for those, we decorate the whole ceiling and just make it turn into a fairyland. It was very beautiful, and we did a lot of dancing during those years. So that was a lot of fun for me. I had several favorite teachers. And I have to say that Ronald Peck was one of them because we did so much together with music. I played for the girls' chorus until my senior year. And I played the clarinet in the band, and we had a lot of good experiences with music. And Ronald was a wonderful teacher. He really knew music and knew how to get it out of us. I also enjoyed Ken Cook. He taught me how to give talks, speech. We did speech contests. We did plays. We did a lot of drama and plays, and I admired the way that he would bring those things out in us. I liked English, and he was a good English teacher. Probably my best friend in high school was Maxine Williams. We did a lot together. But because it was a small school, I also had friends that were younger than me and older than me. Carol Patterson, Peggy Payne were older than me, but we had a lot of fun together. Younger than me was Ann Peck, and Ann and I did a lot through the years because she was my next neighbor, and we would ride bikes and do different things together. Judy Pratt, Barbara Barton, they were all good friends, and I've kept in contact with some of them through the years, and it's been fun to see them. When I wasn't in school, some of the things that I did, because we lived on a farm, I helped Dad on the farm. Drive tractor and do whatever I could to help him. He didn't have any sons to help him, so I would help him the best way that I could, as well as Mother. I did horseback riding and biking. We did road shows. Our church activities were a good part of what we did in Carey. It was either school or church activities. We had a big garden. It was usually Mom and Dad that took care of the garden. It wasn't me. I pulled a few weeds, but they did most of the work and irrigated the garden and took care of a big yard. Mother always had lots of flowers and made it beautiful there. My husband and I have been married 56 years, and he was in the military. And through the years, we moved quite a bit, mostly in the West. He had some duties where he was in Korea and Vietnam, and during that time I stayed in Carey with my folks. But we lived in Beale Air Force Base, and that was where the SR-71 plane was stationed. That was a beautiful airplane. It was supersonic, and it was exciting to see it take off because it would just go straight up into the air. It was beautiful. We also lived in Spokane during Mount St. Helens, and that was quite an experience because even though we were in Spokane, the ash came to Spokane and dumped also. And everything was blooming at that time, and it just covered everything in this gray dust or dirt or whatever it was. And It was difficult for automobiles to get around. My mom and dad were there for one of our kids' baptism at that time, and we were kind of stuck in the house for a couple of weeks. So it was quite an experience, and the SR-71 happened to be there for an Air Force show, and because the skin on it was so sensitive, they had to keep it in a building and keep dusting it off to keep the skin on that airplane the way it should be. And my husband was kind of in charge of that, so that was quite an experience in itself. We lived in San Antonio, Texas at one time, and it was during the hemisphere, and we met a lot of people that came from Utah to the hemisphere, and our ward housed some of these people, and we had a couple living with us for a while. We were at Edwards Air Force Base in California when the space shuttle was there. We saw it come over. It was an experience where we were able to see it come and go. And when they first brought it over, they towed it over, and it took many hours to get it there. It was big, and they had it on a trailer, but it took a long time for that space shuttle to even get to Edwards Air Force Base. Out in the middle of the desert. That's where we were. So we have some good experiences in the military. I think some of the things that inspire me now are meeting new people and travel. We've traveled a lot. We've been in Europe a lot of times, and Italy, Spain, Russia, Germany, and other places, and love to travel and love to meet new people and experience new experiences. And we're just grateful for where we live in America, but we also enjoy the beauties of those countries also. I've had some health challenges. I had cancer at one point. I had triple heart bypass. And some of the difficulties was also losing some people that were very close to us, and of course our parents and our dear Jackie, Todd's wife, were very special to us. The things that pull us through those difficult times are our faith, our family, and our friends. And I'm just grateful that everything has worked out as far as health goes. My husband also went through a bout of cancer, but he's doing well also. In giving advice to the new graduates, that's kind of a fun thing to do, because as you look back, you think of the things that you went through or I went through, and I think it's important for them to choose a goal and work towards it. Work hard and don't get discouraged, and just keep going forward. I believe in education, both for the men and the women. I think it's important to continue to learn. Even though we get through with our formal education, we still are learning every day, and it's important to have that mindset. To be happy, to be honest. I think it's important to serve. And I think that that should be everybody's focus, is to serve others. Be kind. Kindness is lacking a lot in our society. And I think it's important to be kind to others. So I wish them well. I wish them a lot of happiness and joy. I've been married for 56 years, and I'm glad to have a happy marriage, and we need to be careful about the companions that we choose. So I'm grateful for that. We have 26 grandchildren, 5 great-grandchildren, and of course we have 5 sons. That was the beginning of all of it, and we're grateful for each one of them. I also am grateful that I achieved my educational goal, and that was in nursing. Through nursing, I had other opportunities in that profession. I worked in the operating room. I worked in OB/GYN, and in the later years after my children were raised, I also did home health and some hospice during that time. I'm Lana Wesche, and I graduated from Carey High School.